If you hate yourself, it's because you want to. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel where we talk all about self-improvement, personal development, fitness, health, wellness, basically anything that you need to know in order to level up. So if you are interested in embarking on this leveling up journey with me, do not forget to subscribe so that we can stay connected. So when I was younger, I felt confidence was something that pretty people were just born with. And because I was so insecure and I didn't think I was pretty, I didn't think confidence would ever be achievable for me. I started resenting and envying confident people, and I fell into this nasty victim mentality. And I would watch videos on confidence and how to be more confident, and I would hear things like people saying hating yourself is a choice, and I would just get so angry. What do you mean confidence is a choice? What do you mean loving yourself is a choice? It would feel like a slap in the face because I was so far away from being confident, and I was like, well, why would I choose to hate myself? And it wasn't until I worked on becoming more self-aware and trying to dissect what I was doing in my day-to-day life that it finally all clicked. You see, I was choosing to hang out with people who gossiped. And then what that was doing was I was becoming hyper aware of my own insecurities because I felt like everybody was secretly gossiping about me. It even made me develop insecurities that were not once there. Like I would hear people say like, oh, did you see Crystal? She has like this nasty cortisol face. And I'm like, oh my God, wait, what? A cortisol face? And then I would go on TikTok. What's a cortisol? Oh my God, do I have a cortisol face? And I was choosing to hang out with those people. I was choosing to judge other people and be extremely critical of what others were doing, not realizing that it was just a projection of my own insecurity. I was choosing to participate in self-deprecating humor and putting myself down when I already felt horribly about myself. I was choosing to watch shows with this type of humor. I was choosing to buy and wear clothes that didn't make me feel confident. I was choosing to watch things on social media that made me feel even more insecure, following people who made me feel more insecure. I was choosing to eat foods that made me feel bad about myself. I was choosing to not take my ass to the gym. So you see how we are actively choosing our self-image through our actions? So let me ask you this, like what could happen to your self-image if you start choosing to do things that will affect it positively? If you choose to sleep early instead of doom scrolling at night so that you could wake up early and have time to go to the gym or have time to check everything off of your to-do list. If you chose to meal prep or eat healthy breakfast instead of going to the drive-thru or eating a donut because it made you feel better about yourself. If you chose to drag yourself to the gym after work instead of just watching Netflix, what would it do to your self-image? It would affect it positively. It would make you more confident. Now, what would you do if you stopped hanging out with the friends who gossiped and made you feel worse about yourself? You see how hating yourself is a choice? You keep making the choices that will lead to a lower confident you, that will lead to a more insecure you, and you keep wondering why the hell you hate yourself so much. It's because of your own actions. You need to figure out what your insecurities are rooted in. Figure out what makes you feel insecure. Why do you envy certain people? Like, do you really find that one influencer super annoying, or do you low-key want to be like them? Do you really feel like your coworker who takes care of her body and her health is really pretentious, or do you just wish you could also do the same? And then force yourself to make the choices that will get you closer to your dream self. And this is all about perception. To me, my dream self takes care of herself, looks presentable, walks upright, and so I actively am choosing to do all of these things that my dream self does, and that yields more confidence, right? I can't tell you a step-by-step plan on how to be more confident because your confidence, that definition is completely different from mine. And you know, it can look very, very different. But the important part is that you are just choosing to do the actions that align with your own definition of confidence. And that is the secret to dissolving your insecurities. You have to stop choosing to hate yourself because it is absolutely a choice. But other than that, that was all that I had for you guys today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I wanted to make this video because, like I said, it would just baffle me how somebody could say, oh, you just choose to hate yourself. Like, it didn't click in my brain. And once I had this revelation that yeah, all the choices would yield to higher insecurities. So yeah, by me making those choices, I was choosing to hate myself. Once I had that realization, I was able to operate a lot different, and that is what ultimately helped me become a more confident version of myself. Just remember that this is a never-ending journey, but you deserve to feel good in your own skin. So keep chasing that version, because you absolutely can get there. From somebody who was just super insecure, super, I just really hated myself back then, and I'm now completely the opposite of that. So I can tell you 100% it is true. And if you're struggling with confidence, you can get there. You just have to put in the work. Confidence is a skill that you have to learn how to develop. And adopting this mindset around confidence is the very first step. But yeah, until next time. Bye.